Hello everybody and welcome to another video for Chaos 5 Trials. I'll be showing you today how to complete Dragonfall sewers using the four basic heroes: the apprentice, the monk, the huntress and the squire. Now I feel that this is probably the easiest map for the Chaos 5 Trials. Personally, it was the first I could complete before all the other maps. The first time I did this map, I think I reached wave 3 or 4 directly out of Chaos 4, so it shouldn't present so much of a trouble for you if you build it right. Now I'm using PDTs and flamethrowers. The reason is you get cyborgs in Chaos 5, so you cannot use traps or auras because they immediately disable them, including weapon manufacturer from Eevee. So your best bet is either use well, your only bet is to use ranged towers, so they can damage the cyborgs and not be able to disable them. Now I like flamethrowers because they have a really high rate of fire and they have a lower aggro towards the enemy, so I think this is now, after the latest patch or the previous patch, it's the same for all the towers, but either way I like them because of also their high fire rate and their ability to penetrate shields. And in Chaos 5 you do get 2 geodes on the later waves, on wave 4 and 5, so you do want that damage type to be able to penetrate geodes and bring them down, because if you don't, or if you have an assassin on you, you cannot be able to take them out quickly. They will destroy your defenses and you will lose that wave. So I personally I like flamethrowers for this. Now as you see, again, I'm trying to, where I can, to place the towers in such a way so if a goblin siege roller spawns, you'll be able to shoot it at the back, because that's its weakest point. And in this particular lane I was building, that's the main lane that has all the bosses, that one and the one on the top right. So those two lanes are gonna be your primary for concentrating for bosses. Most of them you won't have a problem taking them down, but if you get a siege roller, you want to have at least 1 or 2 defenses shooting it on the back, so it can weaken it enough or even kill it for as long as you fight assassins and you try to get them off your back. Now you see I've built the main place I will be staying is right there between the 2 Skyguard towers I built, because those are the main towers that are going to help me get rid of the assassins. The main point is try to kill the assassins as fast as you can, stay away from your crystal, because if you keep running around with an assassin on your back and run around your crystal, they will damage your crystal and you will lose the match. So what you want to do is stay away from the crystal and from the defenses that they're the most weak, because they will bring them down very quick. Now I could have used other defenses to help me take them down, like geyser traps or maybe an aura, but I find that I like to use the DUs to just help me bring the enemies down faster. And I mean, even if you die a couple of times with the assassins, it's not a big deal as long as you're able to have your defenses killing all the enemies and protecting those lanes and managing them. It's really not a big issue. So yeah, after the first wave, which you shouldn't have a problem completing, just mainly focus on upgrading your defenses, especially your walls, and mainly those lanes that you're gonna have a boss spawning. Now to upgrade also my Skyguard towers, because they are the towers that gonna help me with the assassins. Now you shouldn't have much of a trouble completing. I think, as I said, this is probably the easiest level to farm and to complete in Chaos 5. You shouldn't really have a big problem completing this map. Of course, the most important shards for your towers, as you know, and maybe as I have said before, is Deadly Strikes from Chaos 3 and Power Transfer and Defense Rate from Chaos 4. For me personally, those shards, I mean, they're worth it to grind a bit and get a few in lower Chaos tiers, because they will really make a big difference in Chaos 5. I mean, you can probably complete it without them if you have higher gear, but they will make a big difference. Mainly the Deadly Strikes one, because of its reach. If you are not of a high assassin level, like above 210, so you can have max power gambit on your defenses, it really helps with bosses and with crowd control and with the geodes. Because of that higher reach, they can have the higher range. And power transfer, of course, it's a wonderful shard right now. I mean, it goes with every defense. Even if you use a skull as a relic, it adds a lot to the damage. And the rate, of course, by increasing the rate, you increase the critical chance, you increase the DPS. It's basically the 3 to go shards from Chaos 4 to probably all Chaos tiers. And even if you do not have so powerful medallions or marks or whatever, they will make a big difference, and you find yourself being able to complete things a bit easier, or it will be more forgiveful. If you've misplaced a defense or didn't calculate exactly where you should put the defense for maximum range or to help you with to kill all enemies. Now, as I said, I prefer flamethrowers due to the fact that they penetrate shields, and it would be an issue in later waves, in the 4th and 5th wave, due to the geode shielding. I mean, if you're able to complete a few levels in Chaos, you won't have a problem with them either ways, because you'll be able to go in and kill them yourself. But especially if you're in the start of trying to do Chaos 5, I think you'll find it very helpful in helping you completing the waves, and they can output pretty big damage too. Of course, you can do it with other towers like cannonball towers from the Squire. No, I mean, you see what I'm talking about here. The siege roller, how fast is taken down because of the flamethrowers and because of the Dragolites. Because, as I said in my first video, I prefer Dragolites because it adds that 100% damage from all sources. Even if you're not able, even if you die from an assassin's while you try to take down the siege roller, due to the passive being activated, your defenses for those 5 or 6 seconds will do that extra 100% damage. So it will help you bring whichever enemy you have to face a lot quicker, and even if you die, will give you a higher chance not to lose that wave by destroying your defenses. I find it very helpful. Now, of course, in later games, when you get better gear, I use other pets too, like the water healing. I find that also very useful with assassins, because if you have the damage output to take down enemies and bosses, it gives you that extra chance, let's say, when you die, to give you another opportunity to heal yourself, have full health again, and help you take down the bosses faster. But you can use whichever you feel is doing the job better for you. I find them both very useful. Now, of course, as I said, if you want to progress faster, you should, once you get a better drop from the one you have, it's a good idea to equip it to your loot character. I think I'm using my Huntress here as a better loot character. At this point, I was using the best armor stat as my best gear, but after some testing, and other people also mention it on the forums about the same time, what makes a better gear actually is more evident if you use the selling price. Some of you may know or may not know that what makes a gear better is actually set by an item power, which in the past was obvious, and it still is if you know how to see it. In some cases you can still see it if you get an item on your the scavenger, but it's not visible from your inventory or even on the item itself. So what makes an item better than the one your equipment that you currently have on? Many people say it's the armor stat. Well, actually, a better way to see is the selling value. Sometimes an item with a high sale value will have a lower primary stat, let's say the armor stat, but it may have higher secondary stats, so that's useful too. But the best way to progress is to always try to equip the higher sell value items. Now that's a problem, because different items with different quality have different sale price, so you cannot know if an item you get is better than the other one. So you can either stick to one quality, mainly blue ones or epic ones, because they tend to drop more often, or even mythic ones. Or you can do what I do and try to, equip in every way what you get, hoping it's best. But yes, that's actually a very good indicator of what better loot is. There's also a lot of forum posts describing this and showing how loot is better. At the moment there are 2 posts about maximum prices on Chaos 5 and Chaos 4, so you can look them up to know if you're at that maximum level yet, or how close you are to it. But of course I have to say that this is before the final release of the game, so this might change again. So for this time being and until the game gets released, and if it doesn't change, this is still current. I don't know what will happen if the game releases and if it will change. I will probably put the link in the description to see, so you can go to that forum post and read it by yourself and figure out what makes a better loot drop. Now, as you see, we didn't exactly have a very big problem completing this level. I mean, if you're able to place your defenses right and have them take care of the spawns of the mobs and the bigger enemies, you will have enough time until you get the assassins off your back to take down the bosses. In this case I didn't even have to. The defenses hold it just about till the wave finished, so I didn't have to bother with them. So again, that makes another video for Chaos 5. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like. And I will see you on the next episode. Thank you. Bye.